You should have an order of service. If not, you can download one. And these orders of service these days are thick and full of invitations to be part of the community that we're building outside these walls, ways to stay connected. Oh, Reiko Odalane is here, special guest. Oh, well, we'll turn the camera on her later. Coffee hour is a Zoom coffee hour, so we hope you'll join coffee hour. I did also want to let you know, all of you, that an important congregational meeting is going to be held today at 12:30 to approve the budget for the upcoming fiscal year that begins July 1st. So if you haven't registered for the meeting, please do that. Registration information is included in the order of service, so you can find it there. And one last very specific plug is that in the summer we do really limited spans of small group ministry, which are these groups of 6 to 10 people that meet with the facilitator at regular intervals and for an hour and a half to 2 hours with a chance to check in and a reading and reflection questions. This great opportunity to both build community in a small group and go deep in some conversations that don't normally happen unless you make space and invite them into the room. And so summer's a great chance to try one out. Most of them, I think, are going to be happening in August, so just a few sessions in August. But if you are interested possibly in starting in July, you can let the organizers know. And if there's a critical mass, we might start a group or two in July. Again, you can see the information for how to sign up. And if you're worried about Zoom, which is how a lot of these will happen, Greg Biggs, who's one of the co-leaders, is willing to help people figure out how to get on Zoom and how to use Zoom. And of course, there are other ways to participate just by calling in. So please let us know whether you can make time and space in your life for that. I think you will be happy you did. So there are other announcements for you to read in the order of service. Next week is our annual meeting, of course. So let me transition into this worship service. When the world around us gets loud and churning, religious folks usually find and make the times to get still and quiet. It's a way to try and be centered in the midst of life's storms, whether they're personal or collective. Years ago, in fact, when I was in seminary, I read the diaries that Martin Luther King Jr. kept of his time in Montgomery when he was the minister there and the bus boycotts were happening. It's an amazing journey with him, lots of lessons to be drawn from it. But one of the things that struck me most then was how every morning, often before dawn, he would get up to pray, to study scripture or holy texts for him, and to begin his day in stillness and reflection. It's something I've brought into my own life practice. And I think what was made clear then is that even in a time when he was exhausted, and a lot of those entries are about that exhaustion, he was still making time for this. So we're doing the same. We are going to let go of the white supremacy culture characteristic of perfection this morning. We are going to enter into a time of reflection, try and get in touch with our bodies that can become so disconnected from our spirits, our emotions that can get disconnected from our souls in times of upheaval and trauma when we feel overwhelmed. We're going to make space to not necessarily have the right words, not really have had ample time maybe to practice the music. We're going to stumble and experiment our way, feel our way towards mystery and ultimate wonder and revelation that comes in the times when we admit what we do not know and surrender ourselves to be where we are, listening deeply for where we're led to be next. So, I invite you to make space right now to be fully present, to the next hour. And let's begin remembering that in antiquity, the word for, in more than one culture, the word for breath was also the word for spirit. And so we'll begin, as we do every week, doing our meditation on breathing. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. Let's join together.